Good afternoon. I am Donovan Shanley.
I'm Brendan Doherty, and this is the Voice of Duquesne Live. In recent Catholic news, Pope Leo XIV announced St. John Henry Newman would be declared a doctor of the Church. Newman was a Catholic philosopher and writer from the 19th century who was well known for his knowledge about the Catholic Church. Newman's works were important because of the Second Vatican Council, because they were used as guidance when the Catholic Church was adapting to the modern world. Christopher Cimarelli, a member of Duquesne's Catholic Studies Department and a director at the National Institute for Newman Studies, said, "It was Newman's kind of writing and his way of taking on the challenges of the modern world that proved really instructive and helpful for the Church in the 20th century when it really began to reposition itself and embrace modernity." Newman will become the 38th Doctor of the Church on All Saints' Day, November 1st, by Pope Leo XIV. The Jack-o'-lantern extravaganza is coming to the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium. Our Madeline Grolmund has an exclusive look on what's to come.
It's a glowing start to the Halloween season at the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium. Thousands of hand-carved pumpkins are lighting up the pathways as part of the zoo's brand new Jack-o'-lantern extravaganza. Tonight, the media got an exclusive sneak peek at the dazzling display before it opens to the public. Fall evenings at the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium are about to take on a whole new glow. Starting October 2nd, the zoo will host its Jack-o'-lantern extravaganza, a nighttime walk-through spectacle featuring thousands of hand-carved pumpkins, artistic displays, immersive lighting, sound, and effects. Beyond just the visuals, there's more in store. Seasonal food and drink, live pumpkin carving by local artists, a family scavenger hunt, a nighttime train ride, pumpkin painting, and even a pumpkin smash experience meant to engage all ages. Pumpkins transform the zoo's pathways into a glowing gallery of art and fall magic. Over 3,000 pumpkins will illuminate areas like the Islands and Jungle Odyssey, guiding guests on a roughly 1/3 mile trail through the specially themed zones. From fantasy icons to local landmarks, zoo animals to pop culture favorites, each pumpkin tells a story, and it's not just about the spooky faces. These pumpkins are carved with an eye for detail, the detail being so fine, many look more like glowing sculptures than gourds. Some of the largest pumpkins there weigh in at over 100 pounds, giving carvers a massive canvas to work with. Others are miniature, delicately carved and arranged in clusters for family to discover along the way. The experience comes to a show-stopping finale called The Living Wall, which is a 650-foot multimedia pumpkin display that synchronizes with music and lights. They play all the Halloween hits with Thriller, Spooky Scary Skeletons, and more. We got the privilege to ask Dr. Jerry Goodman, the president and CEO of the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium, a few questions about the exciting night. We asked him how the Jack-o'-lantern extravaganza helped the zoo and supported their mission, and he said,
"People might actually ask, what does a giant jack-o'-lantern festival have anything to do with saving wildlife?" And there is actually a lot of connections here. Number one, an event like this brings people into our zoo that might not have otherwise come, and then when they realize that they haven't been here for a while, they hopefully come back during the day and see the animals and learn about them and connect with our mission. Also, obviously, all of the revenue that's generated from an event like this goes to support our mission, so people can feel really, really good every time they come to the zoo and come to an event like this, because their ticket helps fund saving wildlife.
We also asked him why the zoo hosted this event and what it meant to the community. He stated,
"So there's so many different fall events this time of year, and most of them are either very scary or made for little kids. And we really saw a huge void and a big need to do a family-friendly fall event because there's so much fun to be had. And that's when we came up with the Jack-o'-lantern extravaganza, where people of all ages, from tiniest tot to senior citizens, can come, enjoy, and we have hand-carved jack-o'-lanterns for everybody here. So we have history, we have pop culture, we have music, and everything in between.
Finally, we asked him why college students should go to the zoo, and he said,
"So a lot of times people tell me, oh, I haven't been to the zoo since my kids were little. And I tell them that our zoo is a zoo for everybody, and you don't need kids to come. So for college kids, young adults, I should say, we just are a great place for a date, a great place to hang out with friends, a great place to learn with animals, reconnect with nature. We have so much going on here, and the animals are great during the day, and our special events are absolutely fun at night. I mean, at our giant living pumpkin wall that we have finishing the trail. We've had groups that just break out into dance parties, and it's just such a fun place to go with your friends, and definitely encourage everybody to come out here and experience it for yourself.
For an entire month, the event runs nightly from 6:30 to 10:30, with the last entry being 9:30. This is from October 2nd to November 2nd. Ticket prices may vary. Weekday adult tickets start at $24, weekends at $26, and child tickets run for $6 or less. A flex ticket, which is good at any night of the festival, is priced at $28. The Jack-o'-lantern extravaganza officially opens to the public next week and will run through the fall season. For tickets and event details, you can visit pittsburghzoo.org. This is Madeline Grohlman signing out from the Voice of Duquesne Live.
Thank you, Madeline. Now in sports. On Sunday, Duquesne women's soccer team fell short on the road against Dayton, falling 2-0. The Dukes' record fell to 7-3-1 and 2-1 in conference play. Scoreless through 45 minutes, the Flyers got on the board early in the second half. The score from Liv Grenda at the 57th minute was her second goal of the season. Just over 6 minutes later, the Flyers added their second goal of the contest, with Olivia Baca notching her second goal of the season. The Dukes were outshot for just the second time this season, with Dayton holding an 18-9 edge in the category, including a 9-5 edge in shots on goal. Duquesne women's soccer will return home for 3 of their next 4 games, starting against VCU on Thursday. Last Saturday, the Duquesne men's soccer team traveled to Hawk Hill for an 8-10 matchup with St. Joe's. This one was lopsided from the start as the Hawks jumped out in front on an early goal from Mateo Mazzato less than 10 minutes into the game. St. Joe's would continue to dominate throughout the game, not allowing the Dukes to get anything going offensively. In the second half, Mazzato decided that he wasn't done quite yet, as he tallied his second goal of the match to give St. Joe's a 2-0 win. Notable for the Dukes in this one was that they were playing without their starting goalie, Diego Chavez, who was shown a red card in the final minutes of the team's previous game against St. Louis. Following the loss to St. Joe's, the Dukes would return home for a non-conference matchup with Detroit Mercy. After a scoreless first half, the Dukes struck first when Ronnie Badler found the back of the net off a great assist from Ashton Gell. 20 minutes later, it was Duquesne again as Miles Imperato scored. The Dukes weren't done just yet, as just 3 minutes later, Jackson Irvin put the icing on the cake for Duquesne, scoring his fourth goal of the season. Detroit Mercy would wind up adding a goal late off a penalty kick to make the final score 3-1. Next up for Duquesne is a trip to Rhode Island next Wednesday at 7 p.m. This past weekend, Duquesne men's tennis team competed in the CMU Invitational. The team tallied 24 wins over the 3-day event, highlighted by an undefeated 10-win Saturday. Alfredo Vogelar was very solid once again for the Dukes in this tournament, but overall this was a team win for Duquesne. The Dukes now turn their attention to the much-anticipated Atlantic 10 Conference Masters this weekend in Davidson, North Carolina.
More in sports. After a tough road loss to their second FBS opponent, Duquesne football bounced back at home, beating New Haven 44-18. The Chargers, who would join the NEC next year after moving up from Division II, gave Duquesne an early scare. Quarterback A.J. Duffy hit Josh Tracy for a 56-yard touchdown on their first play, giving New Haven a 6-0 lead that held until midway through the second quarter. That's when wide receiver Joey Isabella took over. Despite limited snaps, he finished with a career-best 92 yards and 3 touchdowns on 6 catches, building on his growing chemistry with first-year quarterback Tyler Riddell. Riddell also rushed for 2 scores, while Duquesne's defense forced 3 interceptions, including a pick-6 from Avery Morris. The Dukes blew it open late in the second quarter with back-to-back Isabella touchdowns and a 61-yard catch-and-run to go up 21-6 at halftime. In the second half, Riddell and the defense added insurance, highlighted by a rare 100-yard return of a failed 2-point try by DJ Carizier. Next up for the Dukes is the NEC opener this Saturday versus Stonehill at noon on Rooney Field. On Saturday, Duquesne volleyball traveled to Richmond, Virginia to go up against Virginia Commonwealth University. The Dukes outlasted VCU, winning by a final score of 3-2, improving them to 9-4 and 1-1 in conference play. The game went down to a decisive set, which started off tied 4-4. Duquesne would pull away, winning the set 15-8 and coming away with the victory. Head coach Steve Opperman praised his team for its bounce-back victory. After last night's loss, I thought we did a nice job of regrouping and playing intentional volleyball. The match went back and forth, but our team never backed down. The Dukes were led by Emerson Scrome, who notched her 8th double-double of the season with a team-high 18 kills and 17 digs, along with 3 blocks and 2 aces. Ariel Helm and Carly Jordan each added 11 kills, with Helm posting an impressive .647 hitting percentage, no errors, and 3 blocks. Duquesne Volleyball then traveled home to play Dayton on Tuesday, their 3rd in-conference game of the season. Now, let's head over to Morgan Carr with this week's weather.
Thank you, guys. Now, on to the weather for the Pittsburgh campus. So we're starting with Friday. We have a high of 75, low of 52. Lots of sunniness coming into the end of this week, moving into Saturday with a high of 78 and a low of 52. We're getting that sun still coming through for Sunday. High of 78, low of 54. So a lot of sunshine for the football this weekend, so make sure you're watching out for those games. Nice weather. Moving into Monday, we're continuing that sunshine with that heat rising, that high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit and the low of 56 degrees. So that chill is going to start coming, especially as we move into Tuesday with that rain and thunderstorms coming out. We have a 40% chance, high of 79, low of 60. Wednesday, 70% chance, to make sure that umbrella is close and near, and you got a rain jacket somewhere. We got a high of 66 and a low of 50, so that cooler temps are really starting to show right then. Moving into Thursday, sunshine, high of 63, low of 45. That fall weather is finally showing up, and we'll be seeing winter very soon. Moving into Rome, lots of sunshine here in Rome, pretty much as always. We got sunshine, high of 69, low of 49. Saturday, we got high of 71, low of 44, so it's getting chillier, but bright sun skies. Moving into Sunday, a 40% chance of rain, high of 73, low of 54, so that temp will be rising as the week moves on. Monday, bright and sunny, high of 75, low of 54. Moving into Tuesday, high of 76, low of 52. Wednesday, the heat is back up again, high of 77, low of 53, with rain coming in right after that increase in temp, with 35% chance of rain for Thursday, high 72, low of 55 here in Rome. Now moving on to Dublin, pretty much your usual weather here in Dublin, rain every day. Rain every day. So we got Friday, 85% chance of rain, high of 65, low of 53. You're going to see a lot of cold temps coming in, especially with the rain and the wind this week, so dress for the weather. We got into Saturday, 55% chance of rain, high of 56, low of 48. Continuing into Sunday, 35% chance, so not too high, with a high of 59 and a low of 49. Then we move into Monday with that 65% chance of rain, high of 64, low of 54. Same for Tuesday with that percent chance of rain, high of 64 again, and that low of 52. Colder temps will be seen throughout here, with that 40% chance of rain on Wednesday, high of 59, but that 45 degrees low coming in late at night. And then Thursday, you're finishing off that with 30% chance of rain, high of 58, low of 49, so a little bit warmer, but still not great weather here in Dublin. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, Morgan. The Student Government Association held their latest meeting September 24th in the Student Union. Here's some highlights to keep you up to date. The Center's Turkey Drive donations are now open. You can make those donations to learn more in Union 302. The McAnulty School of Liberal Arts is in the process of implementing a public policy minor. As for CTS updates, make sure to keep an eye out for phishing or spam emails. If you receive them, immediately report them to IT. Network can be slow if mobile hotspots are turned on. The Power Center network has been officially updated. There are student discounts available, so make sure to use them. There is an Eden Park Duquesne discount at certain locations, student beans with your college email, and free museum passes through SGA. Night of Lights is November 7th starting at 4:30 p.m. Make sure to mark your calendars for a night full of fun. SGA ends their meetings with an open forum for those in the Duquesne community to make comments and raise concerns. This is a great way for you to be heard. This meeting brought up a new real estate major, Hogan issues, and food use showing wrong weekend hours. Next meeting is October 8th at 6 p.m. in Union 613. The Duquesne Program Council is the face behind lots of your favorite events. Let's learn more about the people who make it all happen.
Looking for something fun to do over the weekends on campus?
The Duquesne Program Council has you covered.
Duquesne Program Council is an organization that fosters community through various activities that brings the whole student body together.
And those events are on Fridays and Saturdays for people who don't want to go out or just want to have a fun time.
DPC covers a wide range of events like the Fall Festival, Epic Bingo, lots of other bingos throughout the year, homecoming events such as the fireworks and Autumn Fest, the Christmas Ball, and even spooky things like Fright Night. And there's so much more to come.
For planning, we talk about our budget, what needs to be purchased still, making sure that we have all of the proper vendors, and just making sure that we're well prepared for all of our events. What goes into planning is each officer or director has their own office hours. We also do some planning during meetings, and then we kind of plan on our own outside of the meetings and hours.
The program council does their planning for these amazing events every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. in the Student Union Room 109. That is where all the magic happens.
So stay on the lookout for DPC's next event. This is Betsy.
And Kylie of the Voice of Duquesne Live signing off.
Thank you. Now, here's your end of week roundup. Think you know our campus? Students are invited to come in teams of 2 to 3 to test their knowledge on this fun adventure around the Bluff. Prizes include a Duquesne swag bundle and a $50 Amazon gift card for winning teams. The scavenger hunt will start with a meeting at the Union Fountain at 8 p.m. As we close Heritage Week, we are encouraging departments to have their employees wear red and blue on October 3rd. We ask that, if you can, stop by with members of your department to take a photo at our photo booth at Spirit Day to be sent to the school in Tenjuru as a show of support from our campus. If your floor, class, or even group of friends would like to chip in $1 per person dressing in our school colors that day, you can bring the funds by the Spirit Day celebration that day from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 3rd floor concourse in the Student Union.
Join the Office of Housing and Residence Life for Art After Dark, a fun-filled evening of arts and crafts. The event will take place tomorrow, October 3rd, in the Towers NPR from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Come join the St. Jude Walk in Pittsburgh this Saturday, October 4th at Highmark Stadium. Bring your passion to a mission, and if interested, volunteer at the St. Jude Walk near you. Volunteers play a vital role in making this celebration a huge success. Volunteers are needed for the event planning committee and on the day of the event to help with setup, tear down, and more. The event will start at 8 a.m. Make strides against breast cancer this week at the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk. The event is this Sunday, October 5th at Acrisure Stadium. Registration and activities begin at 9 a.m. The walk begins at 10:30 a.m. Join the Duquesne community for their annual Homecoming and Family Weekend from October 10th to 11th. The celebration will bring together students, families, faculty, staff, and alumni to honor Duquesne pride and the historic success of our university. Enjoy new traditions like the Rally to Rooney and wine and craft beer flights in the Homecoming Village. And don't miss this year's special attraction, a dinner and dance party in the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse featuring Mamma Mania, a New York City ABBA tribute band. Other events across the weekend include Autumn Fest on AWalk, offering games, raffles, and student group activities, as well as tours of Duquesne's newest facilities like the medical school. Alumni will gather for the Class of 75 reunion, while students, families, and grads can enjoy the Homecoming Village tailgate luncheon before cheering on the Dukes at Rooney Field. This year's Homecoming and Family Weekend is more than just a reunion. It's a chance to see Duquesne shine, past and present, with a community spirit that continues to grow. Homecoming is sure to bring the energy to campus. Our Morgan Carr spoke to the representatives of the Office of Alumni Engagement to get the inside scoop ahead of the big week.
Thank you. And today I am here with Olivia Glossner, the Assistant Director of Alumni Engagement, and Mary Young, the Executive Director of Alumni Engagement. And today we are here to talk about homecoming and all things alumni related. Thank you guys so much for coming with and listening to me today. So, first of all, what are your roles within the Office of Alumni Engagement?
Yeah, I'll start. I'm the Executive Director of Alumni Engagement. I've been with the team since August of 2018, where I was hired as Assistant Director of Student and Young Alumni Engagement. Just got, promoted to Executive Director about, 18, 20 months ago. So still, settling into the new role, but I'm a proud two-time Duquesne graduate. This is my first job out of graduation. So obviously I love Duquesne, and it's just been such a joy to, serve our alumni community in this way.
My name is Olivia Glossner. I have been with our alumni team full-time for about a year, since June of 2023. So kind of new to my role, but I also came on as an intern while I was pursuing my master's degree here. So not new to alumni engagement, but taking what I've learned as an intern under Mary and kind of putting that into work as my own individual on the team. But yeah, I'm also a two-time Duquesne grad and just live and breathe Duquesne, can't get enough of it.
Yeah. And so I know you do so many events, especially with alumni, but homecoming is a big one and it's coming right around the corner. So why is homecoming so important?
Well, this, time around especially, last year we saw momentum moving it toward a university-wide event, but this year especially, we're trying to, reach to, the farthest corners of campus to really make sure that everybody at Duquesne, both, young and old, student all the way through alum, feels like it's a celebration of the spirit of Duquesne, the pride of Duquesne, all of the traditions. It's just a perfect catch-all experience of everything that's come before us that's made Duquesne the university it is today, and everything that we can do moving forward as a community to make it even better. We try to have a really diverse offering of events and programs throughout the week and the weekend. So there's really something for everybody. This year, homecoming takes place October 10th and 11th, Friday and Saturday. So next weekend, since we're already at October now, happy birthday, Duquesne. You'll see the majority of our homecoming attendees, once that Friday morning hits us. But Olivia does a ton of work throughout the week to make sure that campus feels lively and spirited for our current campus population, our current students. So you can talk more about that.
Yeah, and I feel like too, I think what makes Duquesne unique with our homecoming is that we've recently opened it up to families as well. I think across the country at different universities, there's a reputation that homecoming is only for alumni to come back. So we've tried to make it as inclusive as possible for students, families that want to come back and visit their students, and then the alumni community. But like Mary said, I oversee all of the student events, and this new to the year, working with our student life office to provide different programming and just trying to give the best experience for our students for this week.
Yeah. And I know you guys kind of talked about being two-time Duquesne grads. Do you feel like since you are a Duquesne alumni, it helps you in your field, your role here at Duquesne?
Yeah, absolutely. I joke all the time that it's a very self-serving job because I have the luxury of being a graduate and thinking, what would I want my alumni experience to be like? I also have so many personal connections to Duquesne. My dad went to Duquesne. My husband went to Duquesne. My two young kids both were baptized in the chapel. I got married in the chapel. I truly feel like Duquesne, you come here and it never leaves you. And so I try to kind of live out that experience of, really life has changed since you go to Duquesne, and how can I reflect that in my work every day as the Executive Director of Alumni Engagement? How can I better serve our alumni population, our future alumni population? Really making sure that, while I have my own unique experiences from when I was a student, there's really so many different facets to the Duquesne experience. And so just really living in like what I value and appreciate about my time at Duquesne and how it's still with me, like I said, in like personal ways. But getting excited by and, inspired by what our alumni have to share and what really matters to them, and how can we apply that to our programming to promote, alumni success stories, to provide more resources for our alumni after graduation, to get students excited about life after graduation, helping EMG with prospective student efforts, and just keeping that cycle going. So yeah, it's something that I don't even have to think twice about, and it's so easy to be motivated at work for that reason.
Yeah. Like Mary said, I think just being an alum and also coming to work and being in this environment is so special, and not having to say goodbye when we step off campus. We try to work hard on giving those opportunities as an alum, whether you're still located in Pittsburgh, if you move to a different city. We have regional networks that are growing with alumni that are ready to help you, whether you're a student or, a young alum.
Yeah, and so getting all these events together to bring in people, what kind of goes into events, whether that's homecoming or some of your other events that you have?
Lots of it. Yeah, I guess it depends on if it's an on-campus event, if it's a recurring event, if it's off-site, if it's never happened before. A lot of different approaches. Some of our, I hate using this phrase because I try to avoid this as like, something I encourage my team to do, but like our rinse and repeat programming, the ones that we know are successful that people look forward to year after year. That's just kind of pulling out the old timeline of, at least 6 weeks out from the event date, most likely more, probably like 3 to 4 months out. Making sure you have space reserved, again, whether it's on or off-site. Vendors have been contacted and reserved. Our marketing plan is together. We have a great support staff in advancement services just down the hall from us in Old Main. That helps, but we've also seen a lot of support from others on campus, like, this nice radio show that we're on right now, to really amplify our messaging for our events and programs. We then make sure that, again, the event registration is open with enough lead time for people to know about it, get it on their calendars, register for the event. Creating a staffing schedule if we have volunteers helping us, or professional staff from Duquesne supporting, making sure that they're all situated accordingly at the event to help make sure it's a success, and that's communicated to them in advance. Event supplies. Right now, our offices look like an episode of Hoarders because we have all of our homecoming and family weekend event supplies in a lot of boxes. So that's what's kind of really fun about our jobs in a way. We're not just like trapped in an office staring at our computer day after day. We get to really meet with a lot of different people, work with a lot of different vendors, kind of be a little picky about like, oh, that vendor was amazing to work with. Let's definitely use them again. Or that one like really stiffed us with like way too high of an invoice. Like we're definitely not using them again. Obviously working with different staff and faculty across campus has been wonderful. Any of our alumni attendees, just getting to know them. But then you also have like those days where you get to like just like haul boxes around and like roll up your sleeves and like feel like, wow, I really put like a lot of sweat hours into this, so it's just really exciting to have that like dynamic sort of work day. Every day looks different. Every event is different and has different needs. So that's like, I could go on, but that's like off the top of my head, everything that I could think of, but I don't know if I missed anything.
No, I feel like you encapsulated what a typical work day will look like versus, ever so changing, especially during our busy season of events, like right now with homecoming, different family events that our office hosts.
Thank you so much for spending your time and talking to me today. And be sure to keep listening for more alumni engagement information as the year goes on. Back to you guys.
Thank you. Now, here's this week's roundup from Provost Dossey's Academic Insights. The second Faculty Senate Assembly meeting for the academic year will be held on October 14th from 1 to 3 p.m. on the 5th floor of the Gumberg Library. All faculty are welcome to attend. Watermark training sessions will be held during the week of October 20th. There are 7 sessions to choose from, and each new Watermark user should plan on attending one session. Because classroom space is limited, we ask that users complete the Watermark training sign-up sheet. All sessions will be held in Canavan 310, and participants are asked to bring their laptop as well as a completed 2023-25 DAP template. If you have any questions, please email jonesd22@duq.edu.
Register for upcoming CTE workshops. Discussion of Peter Felton's book on higher ed relationships, October 7th and 21st from 11 a.m. to noon. Join CTE for a book study on Peter Felton and Leo Lambert's book about the centrality of relationships in higher education. Participants will receive a copy of the book by committing to participate in both sessions. This book study builds on the ideas explored in Dr. Felton's keynote on September 9th. I am Brendan Doherty.
I'm Donovan Shanley, and this is the Voice of Duquesne Live.
Hope to see you next Thursday.